Hello, my tubies and my TikToker, SheilaTruelove with you this fine Sunday morning. I just had my Christian meeting just now, and it was wonderful. I want to share a brief story with you. It's not so good. I mean, she was married for 22 years, and she recently found out that her husband has been cheating. And even though he said he was going to go into counseling, like I said, honey, I don't give second chances, but she was willing to give him second chances, and that's her prerogative. I want you to listen in, and she tells it better than I could ever. About them going into counseling. He agreed to go into counseling, and whatever. Anyway,
and having an affair for 9 months. And I asked him if he would go in for marriage counseling. And the marriage counselor that came very highly recommended from a lady that I work with, and her husband are still very much in love and still very married. And so I thought, okay, this is a good marriage counselor. But he was booked up for like 3 months, so we couldn't get in for 3 months. And he did agree to go to marriage counseling with me. So I made an appointment, but like I said, it was 2 or 3 months out. And in the meantime, I caught them in bed together. And I asked him, I said, what about the marriage counseling that you agreed to do? And she was shocked. So obviously, he was lying to both of us about everything that was going on because she had no idea that he was supposedly trying to work things out with me and still keep the relationship with her as well. So anyway, we ended up going to our first marriage counseling appointment, and it was just awkward and weird and very upsetting for me. And we were supposed to date. So we went out to dinner, and that dinner was very awkward and upsetting to me. And looking back at it now, I feel like it was pointless because it became very apparent that I was the only one that wanted to really work on this marriage. And then the morning of our second counseling appointment, my best friend came to my home. And she didn't know that we had a marriage counseling appointment that afternoon, but she came to my home that morning, and we sat at our breakfast bar, and she told me that the weekend before, when he was out of town, he took her along with him. And so that was the first time that I took my wedding ring off. She told me that and told me where people had seen them together at this town that they went to. And so I took my wedding ring off, and I still went to the marriage counseling appointment though with him. And that's where it got really, really interesting. So I'll continue that in the next part. So I found out.
okay, honey. Okay, there's another part. There would have been no part. I think she's afraid of having to let him go because, when you think about what the media promotes in terms of looks and bodies, if you don't have the look that the magazines, media, advertisement, marketing is promoting, then a lot of women, and you can look at her, she's miserable. So what? Fighting for what? I don't understand, he had no intention of staying faithful to her, that's for sure. I don't understand why women, you're fighting for what? You said, well, that was 22 years. You don't want to just throw it down. Why make it 22 years and another day? If the man has made it very clear to you he don't want you. It's done. You have so many women now who are talking golden girls. They're trying to live like the golden girls, which proves that they don't hate men. They don't have anything against men. Just don't want living with them, making commitments with these dudes. Come on. But I look at her and I know that she doesn't have many options. She's not going to have many options. And that's why she's trying to hang on so desperately. You know, I'm going to check out part two and let me see what that's about. Whatever. Because personally, me, you don't have, like they said, I think Judge told her, don't let nobody have to tell you more than one time they don't want you. Time, some dude is whipping out his private parts with someone else. Is he don't want you. He don't value you. I want to keep you around as the house slave, and when he can't get a hold of the woman that he really want to be with, he might, I don't know, every now and again do feel like he's doing you a favor by letting you give him some sloppy toppy every now and again. You, I look, child, please, whatever. So, here's another part of what she's saying. Find your value, know you are loving, you are loved, know your worth, you have magic to share. If only she really believed that.
When you're married to a controlling man, it is really difficult. You end up in a really tough situation because for me, I know I hated the control that he tried to keep over me. But at the same time, I wanted to keep the peace. A lot of times that's all you're looking for, just keeping the peace, making things run smoothly at home.
And there's a lot of women who are in these relationships trying to keep the peace. Like she said, she went to a marriage counselor, and that marriage counselor had a really good marriage. How do you know that marriage counselor had a good marriage? Are you in the house with that marriage counselor? You have a lot of women who put on a good facade for the public, and really inside the house, they're miserable as hell. Now, my thing is, she says she hated this about him and the controlling part about him. So why would you go into counseling to try to fight to save it when there's so many things about this dude that you couldn't stand? Or at least that's what you want us to believe.
Not starting any fights. But at the same time, I just got to the point where I remembered my value. I remembered my worth. It's about backing yourself, understanding your value, understanding your worth, and the magic that you have to share with the world.
Good,
It's about knowing that I am supported, maybe not by him, but I support me.
good.
And there is no doubt that I have energy in the universe. I have good, positive energy. I have something to give to this world.
That's right.
I'm important. I'm loved. And that's a lot of it. Knowing that you are loved, you are worth it. Know that you are worth it, that you have value, you add value, you are loved, you are loving. All of those things matter. You matter. Understand that. We are all important. I was important as a wife, even though maybe he didn't see my value. I did my role. I loved him. I loved our family. I loved our son. I took care of our son. I was a good.
If somebody is abusing you, this is something else. You know, I was with someone who treated me badly, whatever, but I kicked him out because I can't be so bothered, you know. And even though I loved him, I loved this man, I still couldn't put up with being abused. So I had to get rid of him. But she says, I loved this man. How do you continue to go on loving someone who's abusing you? Don't kill the love? Don't destroy it? Well, it does for me. I know when someone is treating me badly, and I know what I deserve and what I don't deserve. You know, she loved the family, and yeah, we like the family thing. You know what? But I love Sheila more. I'm sorry, that's just me.
Mom, I was a good wife. Just because he was not a good husband didn't mean that I was not a good wife. I knew my value. I had to relearn that because I lost that for a while. And as I relearned that, that was a threat to him. Don't let knowing your value and your worth. Don't give that up. I don't care. You have to get to that point where you just say, I don't care. I can't live like this anymore. It ended my marriage. And I was devastated when it ended my marriage. That was the person that he originally fell in love with. I was full of confidence. I was full of fun. I I stretched myself. I had so much fun and enthusiasm. And in the end, that killed my marriage. So when you're married,
Okay, so I can't imagine why you sad that it's over, honey. That's a celebration if you want my viewpoint. But anyway, yeah, I understand you had the 22 years of hell. It seems like I know it wasn't all hell, but the man was before he started cheating on you, and God knows how long he was cheating on her. And normally when they have some side piece, they start treating you badly anyway, ignoring you, silent treatments, everything you say gets on their nerve, trying to start arguments so they can have an excuse to leave, to go hook up with the other whatever the hell they have waiting for them. Hold on a moment. You know what I mean? So to me, that's like a blessing that he's gone. But a lot of women don't see it that way because you invested so many years. Yeah, but like I said, why invest one more hour, one more day when somebody is treating you badly? I'm sorry, I can't be disrespected. I can't tolerate being disrespected or someone who don't value me and appreciate all of my hard work that I put into this relationship, and you can't seem to appreciate it. But like I went to like my therapist because I put myself in therapy. You got to start working on healing yourself. And my therapist and counselor said, Sheila, you have got to learn that other people are not like you. Other people, they I don't understand how other people want to put up with being treated badly. I don't get it. But anyway, it is what it is. I love you guys. I'll be making more videos. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Don't let nobody treat you badly, honey. Mm-mm. Know your worth, because God knows I know mine. The hell with all that nonsense.